Welcome back, guys, to yet another episode in the 1 copper to 1 million gold series. I'm excited to be back for yet another episode here. We got some exciting stuff today. As we talked about in the last episode, I said that I would do a little bit of farming before we started the episode, so we could talk about what we did and do the whole auction house part at the moment that we were already done. So what I was out doing is I was out collecting arcane crystals, I was out collecting some serenite, titanium, and I was out collecting some elementium and a little bit of pyrite. So all the routes that I used should be up on screen right now. It's the winter spring zone that I've used before for thorium and arcane crystals, and then serenite and titanium it's in good old ice crown, and then for elementium we did twilight highlands this time around. All pretty good. I want to say that arcane crystals is the one that definitely surpassed my expectations. We got 33 arcane crystals in an hour, and usually the average is 25. So getting 33 is pretty good. For the serenite we got 300. So it's on the lower side, but we made up for it in getting 16 titanium ore, which is actually pretty decent. So I'm happy with that. And then elementium ore was actually also on the lower side. We didn't have that many spawns out there, which was kind of sad, but it is okay. So what we're gonna do first here is we're gonna go out, or not out, but over here and check the mailbox. So something that's interesting and also something that's important to note is I looted a little bit of things here by accident from reposting some of my things. I didn't mean to, but it did happen. We looted 8,380 gold. It's a screenshot is up on the screen right now. And we sold a little bit of Darkmoon Firewater, some Serenite bars, volatiles, and that was pretty much it. So nothing too major. And then on top of that, we also bought two things that were a pretty good deal. You can also see that on screen right now. It's volatile air and elementium ore. So I was pretty happy about that. We turned the elementium ore into some hardened elementium bars. We haven't been able to sell those yet, but that is a-okay. But the volatile airs, as you can see, we sold them right there. And on the screenshots it said that we bought 324 for 4,623, and we have been able to sell the 324 here for 5,236. So it's not the biggest amount of gold, the biggest amount of return that we actually got on an investment here, but it's still a pretty nice return. Now for everything else here, as you can see, we've been able to sell some titanium bars with pretty strong prices. Actually a lot of the titanium bars you can see here, 42 plus 8, and then you know, obviously it turns out to be 50. And then we sold some titan steel bars for really strong prices too. So serenite bars, we sold all of our Shires Veil, we sold a couple of elementium bars, not too many. Some fell steel bars. Fell steel bars have been on the harder side to sell recently, which is all right. But it turns out to be a grand total of 58,653. So without looking at any of the other things that we still have in here of value, that is pretty nice. You can also see we bought 126 Darkmoon Firewater for 2,504 gold, which is around the 20 gold mark in terms of per Firewater. So I'm honestly pretty happy with that. I don't mind that at all. So we're back up to just around 100,000 gold. We still have a good amount of stuff that we invested in, and some that we also farmed that we still need to sell. And now we also additionally have all of the things that we currently are looking at in our inventory here. So I'm gonna smelt these elementium bars and the serenite, and then also additionally the titanium, and then we're gonna go over to the auction house and post what we have, and then look for some potentially good flips. Now I'm pretty happy with the amount that we were able to farm up today. I decided against doing obsidian because we already have I think 250 bars of obsidian, and so that's kind of the main reason that we didn't do it. And yeah, we could have done it for the Ashara's Veil and the volatile life, but we decided against it and went out to do some of the things that we didn't have too much stock of, which one was obviously arcane crystals and then elementium. And Serenite obviously has been doing fine, but we do not have any more Titan Steel bars, so it'd be nice to be able to make some Titan Steel. Now we actually only have enough for as you can see, we only have enough for the fact that we want to make 2 of these, but you can see that in our mail we actually have 75 titanium bars, so we can actually make quite a lot more than you would think. And since we've been able to sell them for a little bit of a higher price, we should at least look into the fact that we might be able to craft a couple of these, but we're going to check that out when we're done smelting here. But we're gonna smelt the Serenite bars. Sadly, the Serenite bars have gone pretty far down in value again. It's kind of to be expected. So we're going to be, on the ones that we currently have, we're going to be losing a little bit of gold. It's not that big of a deal. I think it's around 5 gold per bar. But we kind of make up for it in the fact that we're out here farming a lot of these things, and we're making our gold back in some of the other things that we've been investing our gold into. So it's not that big of a deal. It's something to take into, obviously it's something that we need to take into consideration, but we are still fine. Another thing is Fel Steel, or not Fel Steel specifically, but the Fel Iron bars have actually gone quite far down in how much they're going for right now, and I think mine are posted for 60 gold, which is incredibly low. And I don't know if I canceled them or not. We'll go look, but either way, it is very low. We might put some gold into a couple different markets here to try and push the price up a little higher to potentially be able to make some gold in doing so. But we'll see. Another thing is the Corium bars. The last time it was scanned, it was actually really cheap. So we might actually go on that and see what we can do there. Before we don't need to actually smelt any of the Serenite. Because we already have a lot of the bars, so I'm gonna refrain from doing that as of yet. And you can see here 59. It's actually really low, but we don't want to. The problem was with us trying to reset this is we would be pumping 59,000 into this market, which I really don't feel like doing with how it's been currently running. Buying 10 Fel Steel bars for 500 gold though, that's a different ordeal. But the problem is, the cheaper the actual crafting materials gets, the cheaper the Fel Steel bars will be able to make. So I think I'm gonna let this be for now. I don't want to particularly sell at 500 gold, so we're gonna hold on to it for now and see what happens with that specifically. The Elementium bar market has seems to have been reset. They're not gonna sell at this price. It's a little bit too hopeful, so we're gonna post ours at a little bit above the market value price. So we're gonna post them at 110. Feel like that's a fine price. And then there's the arcane crystals here, also been reset. It looks like 939 in the minimum buyout, 527 on the market value. So we're going to start out on a strong 599 gold, so just under 600. I feel like that is more than enough of a fair price. The true silver ore, we could probably sell this for 9 gold, so we might as well try and test our luck. Thorium, we don't really care much about this. We just want that out of our inventory pretty much. Other than that, let's see what we have. Actually, something that we did not learn, because after from the farming that we did for the Cataclysm mining, we actually didn't learn Pyrium bars. So we'll take that real quick. Yeah, it's definitely worth it for us making the Pyrium Pyrium bars here. So we're gonna make 6 of these. So we have those, and then we can see if we're going to be able to sell any of these. Could be pretty nice if we were able to do so. We're going to see what we have the options to here. And also the Darkwood Firewater here, we bought it for, you can see that the smart average buy price, 21.40, 21 gold, 40 silver, actually pretty decent. Looking at it right here, we have an additional Darkwood Firewater, 20 of them, I think it was, right? 20? No, 44 actually, at 20 gold. So we're gonna keep those, and then we're gonna try to resell them at 44. Should be a possibility. It shouldn't be too hard. We'll see what happens. And then let's see. Premium bars, post them up. We don't want to post all that yet because I do want to see if we're going to be able. Yeah, we do have some here. Post that up. So what we're going to be needing is Eternal Fire, which is basically the decider here. As you can see here on Titan Steel is actually Eternal Shadows are super expensive as well right now. Yeah, we can make them for 90 gold, which is kind of way more than I actually want to pay for them. But that's kind of one of the reasons that it is as expensive as it is. But I feel like it'd be fine going for 6 of these. So we'll buy 5 and a little bit of an overprice. That's a-okay. And then we're gonna craft 6 of these. So we're gonna be using 18 titanium bars on that. So 18 out of this would be 67 and then 57. So we're gonna post 57 of these still. It's just fine. Then we have 18 left to be able to craft what we want. And we're gonna post our Serenite bars. Also gonna post our Serenite ore, because we're fine with taking the loss on that to potentially reinvest into something else. We haven't seen that big of a return on the adamantite ore, which is actually alright, but we'll see what happens with those. We're gonna hold on to our fell iron bars for now, just to see what happens, and then we'll see what we can do. We're gonna take our Titan Steel here, craft it up, and we're gonna hold on to the Dark Moon Firewater that we have here because we currently have 137 posts on the auction house, and we do want to keep something to ourselves. Obviously, we don't need that much Dark Moon Firewater, but it's still nice to have some on us. Now, as for any potential investments, I don't think we, besides actually one of the things that we possibly could do is we could take the Corium bars and put them a little higher. We could take these 16, make them for 700, which is actually really good. Then we take these 17 and put them up to 900 instead. I think that is totally plausible. Plausible 100%. We're gonna do that. And then do we have anything else? I don't think we do. Primary 400 gold, yeah, not too expensive. Actually, Primal Fire at 300 gold is really cheap. We should actually be able to sell these at a little bit of a higher price. As you can see, we've been able to sell them 579. So we're gonna take these 14, try to sell them for a little bit of a higher price. Let's see if we have anything else. I don't think we do. It doesn't really seem like we do. It's a lot of cobalt bars, so we don't want to go for that. We're keeping the prices on these very high. Can sell the volatiles that we did collect from our elementium hunting. I think other than that, in terms of what we're currently looking at, it's not really looking that good for us here. There's not that many more investments that we can do, so we might, until we see some potentially good deals or maybe venture into more markets, we might hold on to what we currently have, which I'm all right with. We don't have to invest our gold into things as we see them. And maybe we'll make some considerations into what we can put some more gold into. Maybe we'll think about some other professions, maybe another character. We'll see what happens. But I'm actually pretty happy with what we got today in terms of reinvesting, and then also obviously what we already farmed up. Actually, you know what? Now I'm thinking about it here. It's only free at 450. You take the price even higher. Obviously, we have to check modifier as well. Yeah, we can see here the modifier. We'd be able to, of course, take in 10 of these. We could make them for 400 gold. Now 400 gold is pushing it, right? Because that's kind of what we reset it up to. Now that we bought 3 more for a very expensive price, that's okay, but I don't feel like we need to do anything around that because we got the 326. So we're not going to touch those. We're actually going to be okay with those. We can actually post the ones that we have right there. And then we'll see what happens here. We have some fire cores. And these are used, I mean, these are very easy to get. They're very, very easy to get. So actually, I'm not 15. Okay, we're definitely going to take those elemental mores right there. But I think other than that, we don't really have any particular thing that we want to put some gold into. We get some cheap Eternium more. Maybe we try and sell some Eternium bars. We take these and we turn them into bars. And I mean, if we do not sell them at the price that we currently got them at, that's actually just fine, because then we'll just use them to turn them into to Felsteel, which is also very, very good. I mean, obviously we've had a little bit of trouble with actually selling these, but that's okay, because over time they're going to sell. As the price goes down a little bit, maybe they're going to sell more. Either way, it's still nice, because the fact that we're combining our flipping with things that we farm kind of makes up for it on both sides. So I'm pretty happy with it. I don't want to invest any more gold now. We kind of want to see like a steady increase as we continue along here. In terms of what we're going for next week, it's I think the next thing we venture into is Pandaria mining, because as you can see, we do not have it learned. We still have Pandaria mining and then hardened corium, but this one we're probably not going to make because we need to drop from Sunwell, and it's actually not that good of a profit, so we're going to keep it from that. I think Pandaria mining is the next thing that we go for, to be able to make Trillium bars and Ghost Iron bars, and obviously from Ghost Iron, just to have this leveled up is if we ever see a good deal. And if not, then we are obviously going to restock on the things that we currently have farmed up. So that's obviously always a possibility. It kind of depends on how things work out, but I'm pretty happy with where we are so far. We might actually try out some dungeon farming just to see if we get really lucky on some transmog pieces, but that will be for the next episode to decide. Let's see here. We have 229,000 posted on the auction house. I'm pretty happy with this. Because looking at all the things that we currently have posted on the auction house, we actually don't, there's not really anything in here that is super overpriced or post for a super high price. They're basically all at the selling level, so minimum buyout, which is honestly pretty good. We're gonna hold on to our Fel Iron bars. We could potentially sell them at a decent price. Maybe if somebody resets it, we'll post them at 70 gold. I feel like it's fine. If somebody wants to barge in on that. And then the titanium ore as well. If anybody wants to take expensive titanium ore, that is a-okay with me. But as of right now, 262,000, pretty good. We got 68,000 just about in the bags. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys had fun. if you haven't, scroll down, please, just real quick, take a break, click the like button, subscribe if you haven't, click on the notifications, all that good stuff. You know, it's all needed for the good old YouTube algorithm. I appreciate you guys. If you haven't seen it, or if you don't know, I also stream on Twitch, and for people that have been following me for quite a bit, you will know this obviously, but plugging myself a little bit is always a little bit of a nice deal. But for now, I will see you guys on the next video. So until then, see ya.